Tonight we're making one of my favorite meals, chicken parm. Let's get started. I'll show you how I do it. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our sauce started. It takes a little longer than the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and what I've got here is some Mere Glen tomatoes. I've never tried them before, but it says they support firefighters. So that's why I bought it. We're going to give it a try. These are whole tomatoes. Nope. Tomato puree, opened the wrong can. We're going to use it anyway. I thought it was whole tomatoes. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. Chop a couple pieces of garlic. First, chop our garlic. It's going to go in with our sauce. A little bit of onion. We're not going to make very much sauce tonight. Next, we're going to chop half an onion. You can see I'm not chopping all the way through the onion. It makes it stay together. So when you flip it around, it doesn't all fall apart. That ought to do us on the onion and the garlic. I'll go ahead and toss it in the pan with some olive oil and get the sauce started. Alright, so we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. Turn our fire on. Medium. We're going to add some onion. Then we're going to add some garlic. We're going to let these cook down for about 5 minutes before we add our sauce. To this. Okay, we've got these onions and garlic sweated down a little bit. I'm going to turn my fire down just a hair, and I'm going to add the tomato sauce, which I thought was whole tomatoes at the beginning. That was wrong. So go ahead and add this in and let it start cooking down. Okay, we've got our sauce added, and now we're just going to let this cook down while we're making our chicken. Let this get nice and hot, let all those flavors blend together. Okay, this is the pan I'm going to fry the chicken in. So I'm going to add a good bit of olive oil to it. I'm also going to add about 3 cloves of garlic. I'm adding them whole so I can take them out. I'm just putting them in there so it can flavor the olive oil. I'm going to cook it on low while we are getting our chicken ready. Just let the garlic flavor the olive oil, and then I'll take them out before I fry the chicken. Okay, let's go ahead and get our chicken prepared. Now, we have 2 nice chicken breasts. They are nice and dry. We're going to go ahead and trim some of the fat off the edges with a nice sharp knife. These are pretty good. These are in pretty good shape, but still can trim them up a little bit. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. Okay, so you want to take your hand, put it flat on the chicken breast. You want to take your knife and run it as close as you can to the center, which gives you 2 thin fillets. Okay, we're going to do that with both of these. Almost like filleting a fish if you've ever filleted a fish. Alright, now we've got that done. Now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to take it. I'm going to take a piece of saran wrap or cling wrap, whatever you have, which you can use parchment paper or whatever, but I have some saran wrap here. So we're going to go ahead and fold this over. Now you can take, I'm going to use a rolling pin, okay? So you can take this, and you want to roll this out. Roll this chicken out, make it nice and flat, makes it cook even. Gives you more surface area to put your breading on. You can also pound it, but and if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use a can of soup, a can of tomatoes, tomato paste, a hammer, axe head, whatever you want to use. Now I guess it depends on what kind of day you're having too, whether you want to roll it or you want to pound it. So this is a Monday. This might be a Friday. You're happy. So you need to take out the frustration, just beat the hell out of it with the rolling pin. So what you're going to end up with, peel this baby apart, is you're going to end up with a pretty thin piece of chicken. Okay? So that's going to be ready to go in the breading. So we have 2 more of these to do, so we'll get them ready. We have our dredging station, and I have $50 worth of eggs in here. Eggs are expensive, but we're going to whip these real good. We're going to go flour, egg, panko. And we're going to season our flour and our panko. Get these chicken ready. So, again, if you're doing a lot of pieces of chicken, then you might want more egg than this, but I think this is more than enough. So now for the panko, I'm going to take some smoked paprika, Give that a dose of paprika in there. A little pepper, a little salt. Okay, now we're gonna add a little pepper to our flour, a little salt. Give that a mix. Okay, and give this a mix back here. And the last thing we're gonna add to our panko is some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. It gives a nice flavor to the crust of the chicken. You can put as much as you want in here. I like a lot. So let's give that a mix. Now we're ready for the yard bird. So we take our first piece of chicken, we go directly in the flour. Shake off any excess that you have. So give it a little shake. See how nice and thin that is? It's gonna cook real quick. So we're gonna shake that off and it's gonna go directly into the egg. Just gonna give that an egg bath. Let some of that drip off and right into the panko. Now, when you do the panko, take it and put it right on top of the chicken, just like this. Okay, cover it completely up and then give it a good mash. Push it down good. Okay, that way it makes it adhere to the entire chicken breast. Gives it a nice crust on your chicken. So once you get it like that, you're gonna pick it up and shake it off. See how that's got that nice panko crust on it? Now we're just gonna set it out of the way and let it rest for a few minutes. What that does, if you let it set for about 5 or 10 minutes, it allows that panko to adhere to it and it won't come off when you cook it. It won't all come off anyway, but it makes it stick a little better when you let it sit for a few minutes. Lola's ready for something to eat. Okay, now I'm gonna add just a few little pieces of fresh basil. Just tear it off. It's gonna go right in our sauce, which has been cooking for just about 10 minutes. Adds a great flavor to it. If you can't get fresh basil, you can just use, they have some that's in the store that's already chopped up in a little can. You can use that, or you can use some dried basil as well. But I like the fresh if I can get it. You can see here the garlic is infusing the olive oil. That's going to give it a great flavor. We have all of our chicken done. I'm going to let it sit here for a few minutes, and while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and get our pasta ready. We've got our pasta water ready. I'm just going to add some salt to it. This way your pasta has flavor when it comes out. It's not just bland. It'll actually attach itself to the pasta. When you put chicken in, put it away from you. So if it splashes away from you. Alright, you need to add some butter to the pan with the chicken while it's cooking. And it adds a nice golden brown to it too. And it gives it a little more flavor. This is called bucatini. The pasta actually has a hole all the way through it. It's a little thicker than spaghetti, but that's what we're going to use tonight. We'll let that cook for about 30 seconds, then we'll give it a mix. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds. Go ahead and give it a twist and see if we can get it all to lay down in there. 9 to 11, 12 minutes on the pasta. If you like it chewy, you want to pull it a little quicker, al dente. And if you like it more cooked through, you want to leave it in on the 12-minute side. Let's check on our chicken. Almost ready to flip. That one is ready. Look at that beautiful crust. A couple minutes on this side, and we'll stick it in the oven. I like to take a little bit of the sauce and put it on the bottom of the pan for the chicken to rest on. It's not much, just a little bit. Now we'll take our chicken. And I don't know if you can hear it or not. I just cut the cheese with that. Cut the cheese. Not really. But anyway, that's a bad joke. Okay, you can hear that crust and you can see that crust on there. So the chicken's all the way cooked through. I'm going to lay it right there on top. Slide it over a little bit. Uh-oh. Got no room in the end. Well, we'll just do 3 pieces. I'll make a sandwich out of the other one. Alright, so now we're going to take a little bit more sauce. Everybody doesn't do it this way. This is just the way that I like it. Then we're going to hit it with a little bit of fresh parm. Now we have our fresh mozzarella, as Teresa's mama calls it. I call it mozzarella, which is probably wrong. But we just cut this up. We're going to lay this now. when you cut it, I try to cut it really thin so it melts fast. So we're gonna go ahead and lay this on there. If you put a real thick slice on there, it takes a little while for it to melt. So that's why I cut it pretty thin. Now we've got our oven preheated to about 400, and that's just to get this cheese melted. So we're gonna go ahead and pop it in the oven. That's what you look like. And we'll be eating in just a few minutes. All right, here we have it. A beautiful chicken parm dinner. We have our bucatini, our pasta, our beautiful melted mozzarella cheese, and the star of the dish, the breaded chicken. So let's go ahead and give it a bite. See if it tastes as good as it looks. Got a little cheese. We got a little pasta. Give it a whirl. That crust is still crunchy. You can taste the fresh basil in the sauce. The mozzarella is amazing. Give this a try, guys. It's pretty easy to do. A little bit messy with the dredging and stuff, but man, is it good. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Hit that notification button, and we'll see you next time.